Here now with more maybe soon to be Speaker of the House, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. I think that might be the last time I introduce you as that. Thank you for being with us. Congratulations on what is a huge victory for the American people, because this is the only avenue in government now that we'll be able to put a check and a balance on the Biden administration and these new Green Deal Democrats. Let's first talk about, you won the nomination inside your party caucus. You have to get 218 votes to be the Speaker of the House. There's a small margin. Will the Republicans put their egos aside? Will they work together? Will they follow up on their commitments to America? Will they use the power of subpoena and the power of the purse?
I believe so, Sean, and we need to work together, because you are right. We are the only Republican entity that can stop this disastrous Biden agenda. Think for one moment. It is official. One-party Democrat rule in Washington is finished. We have fired Nancy Pelosi. We have worked hard to earn this agenda. You are right that we worked very hard on getting this majority, but we put the commitment to America out there. We told the American public exactly what would we do. And think about it. The 218th seat that was called tonight was Congressman Mike Garcia, a former Naval Academy F-18 pilot. This is Los Angeles County. This is a seat that Joe Biden carried by 13 points. And we won it. And we still got more good news tonight. Madera just came back in the count for California 13th, and John Duarte had just gone up by 900 votes. So we've got about 4 more seats out there, possibly, that we can win. But the one thing I know in Washington, they don't hand the gavels out in small, medium, and large size. It's one size gavel with the ability to subpoena and hold this government accountable, secure this border, fight to make us energy independent, give parents a say in their kids' education, and actually look what the DOJ is doing, what the DHS is doing, and others. And that's exactly what we're going to do. On day one in this House, we will repeal 87,000 new IRS agents.
Now, you would have the power to do that, wouldn't you, because you have the power of the purse?
That's exactly right. And we will use the power of the purse. The size of our debt has got to stop. But we've got to actually focus on what we did listening to the American public. You've got to make an economy that's strong. They're hurting because of inflation. We've got to cut back on this wasteful Washington spending. We've got to make ourselves energy independent. And not just energy independent, let's help our allies. Let's make China dependent on our natural gas. Let's secure our border so our children are no longer being killed by fentanyl every single day. Let's make sure we stop defunding the police and start funding them. Let's make sure parents have a Parents' Bill of Rights, a say in their kids' education. Let's make sure government is held accountable. You've got 2 congressmen coming up here shortly. They're going to lead the charge on making sure government is held accountable.
Now, I know we have Congressman Comer coming up, and he is on the House Oversight Committee. He says he's ready to subpoena Hunter Biden. Jim Jordan is now going to be looking into whether or not the FBI has been politicized, the DOJ has been weaponized. That's an important investigation. Well, we also have investigations into the NIH, the possible funding through the Eco Alliance of the Wuhan virology lab. In other words, did American taxpayers help pay for COVID-19? Will that be part of the investigative? Is that on the investigative list?
Yeah, we've already begun. We want to know the origins of where COVID began, so we never have that happen again. Who funded it? How did it get there? We want to know what happened in the last 60 days of Afghanistan. Why didn't the president listen to the military, creating 13 new Gold Star families that never should have taken place? We've got a number of ways. Why did the DOJ go after parents and call them terrorists? How can we have a Secretary of Homeland calling that this border is secure when you have more than 2.7 individuals illegally coming across? Or the number of people on the terrorist watch list coming into America? What do they have planned? Who are they talking to? And why are they here? That's just a start.
Let me ask you this question, and it has to do, and we saw the power that Nancy Pelosi had with the similar majority in the last
same size
Congress,
majority.
and that is she.
Yes.
Okay. So my question to you is this, and I know everybody has their own agenda, but there are a lot of 80-20 issues, 70-30 issues, 90-10 issues. And look, I don't know what's going to happen within the caucus, but any four congressmen can cause an awful lot of trouble if you're the Speaker of the House or in the process of becoming Speaker. The only admonition I have to the Republicans, if they don't work as a unit, they're not going to succeed. You're going to live and die together. And I think if you stay on those issues, are you confident that the caucus will hold strong together and rally around the issues that the American people entrusted you with when you made your commitments to America?
Sean, we worked together on this commitment to America. Everybody in the caucus worked for the last year and a half, and you watched it to put it out, to make an economy that's strong, a nation that's safe, a future that's built on freedom, and a government that's held accountable. We just had what you would think is a primary with more than 84% of the conference I was able to win. We had that debate. Now is the time to move forward, and you're correct. To really save this nation, to work for the American people, we have to work as a team or we'll lose as individuals. And I believe this conference will rally together because we will have a tough time. But if we listen and work harder together, we can make the next century the American century. We are the only ones holding against this disastrous agenda by Joe Biden. But think for one moment. 4 years ago, I was elected leader. We had just lost the majority, less than 200 seats. And for the last two election cycles, we have done nothing but win seats. The Republicans in the Senate lost, the Republicans in the governors lost, but it's only been the House. We are the last line of defense. So we can't take this personal. We can't go out and make our own individual ideas. We need to work as a team for the sake of this nation. And I ask anybody to join with us. And you look at this new freshman class. You look at this Republican Party. We will listen to the American public, but we will lead for the American public as well. Join with us, because we'll work with anyone that wants to make America better.
Kevin McCarthy, Congressman, thank you for being with us. Congratulations again. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.